So this is what I go through in my own process, but I wanted to ask yourself the same question. So when I look at, hey, what are all the questions that I need to ask my clients on every single category of the 4 pillars, and really craft the whole entire process of, okay, start to finish, what are they looking for? What are strengths and weaknesses? So number one, how much money do you need? Use your funds. Is it going to help my business grow? How fast do you need it? How much business credit experience do you have? What type of loans do you need? Do you need an equipment loan because you're in trucking or manufacturing? You shouldn't get a cash loan if you need equipment, from that. But you still need working capital. Then you also want to take advantage of some business credit cards for the rewards, travel, things of that nature. Or you have a whole bunch of account receivables, which maybe I get an account receivable factoring line or a business line of credit for that. So that whole story about what do I need in the very beginning is very key. And then I want to dive into the personal credit. So is your credit score less than 700? Do you have a thin file or a thick file? Or is your age of your total accounts less than 2 years or more than 2 years? Your utilization over 30%? Do you have any late collection charge-offs? 4 inquiries in the last 6 months? So if any of these of this formula is out of the balance of what these banks look for, what do you have to do? Do I have to add some accounts some authorized users? Do I have to start building up personal primary accounts? Do I have to do an inquiry wipe? Do I have to use all my 10 strategies of the utilization? For every single person, we customize and we say, what do we have to do for that? But I want you to understand this framework for how to think like a banker. And these are the same criteria that they look for yourself. All right. Do you have business credit? Do you have established with all the big bureaus? Is your business credit utilization above 30%?
Talk about this, bro. This is saucy because a lot of people don't realize that there's a such thing as a business credit utilization, how to fix it, how to see it. Go crazy on this slide, guys. You guys ready for this one? This is going to be a good one.
So one of the first things we ask from you is what's your business debt schedule, which a lot of banks will ask for. So give us everything. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to know everything because of the fact that, hey, if you have maxed out credit cards, and even though they're not going to report on your personal credit, but they can report on your business credit. Does this one credit card, does it report to Experian Business or Equifax Business or Duns and Bradstreet or SBFD? So if I know that, hey, I'm going to help you get funded, but you have 5 credit cards that are fully maxed out, and all of those are reporting to Experian, let's just say. And the next time I want to apply for a new account for you, that one particular bank, is it PNC? Is it Chase? Is it Citizens Bank, BMO? Which business credit bureau are they going to pull? Are they going to see that those 5 maxed out credit cards are going to be on Experian? So what am I going to do there? I'm not going to go to Experian from that one bank. I'm going to probably go to Equifax. Maybe that's not reporting on Equifax, or maybe they're not reporting on Duns and Bradstreet. That's the complexity that we have to go through of finding out what are the strengths and the weaknesses. What can I shed the strengths on? Is there a story that I have to be able to bring on? But having visibility on the full picture, even business credit, can make or break a denial. You want to use your inquiries wisely because everyone can be worth 10,000 or 100,000. You choose. You only have so many shots, so many ammunition that you can do within 6 months. There's only so many inquiry wipes that you can do at the same point, guys, right? When you go and call it in, or you use one of these, even my company, you can't do an inquiry wipe every 2 weeks. You have to let your credit breathe a little bit, man. It doesn't work like that.
100%.
So over leveraged, right? Is there UCCs, public records, tax liens? Do you have late payments reporting on your credit, on your business credit? Even those vendor credits, or Duns and Bradstreet vendor credit, your U lines, etc. If you forget to pay one of those and that reports on your business credit, I had a client that had the perfect situation: personal credit, business credit, strong financials, 2 years in business, etc. But they just recently had a vendor credit in the construction business that had 30, 60 days. And it was difficult for them to get approved because it was so fresh. I shed that light, not because of that, because there's different ways. If one avenue doesn't work, we have to go another one and another one, another one. We've actually done, even for some of our clients over here, even in the Radikal group, we've done as much as 20, 25 applications with somebody because we
Wow.
had to work because there was a challenging file, high credit usage, right? Business credit was maxed out. But again, we want to try to make sure that we help and get you to that outcome faster. Hopefully this makes sense when you shed some light on what we have to go to. But even if you don't work with us, which is okay, but these are certain questions you need to ask yourself.
Yep.
And so look at this whole entire matrix and say, what part of this do I need to work on? Or if I'm going to take a chance, will that work with Citizens, PNC, B of A, Regions? You know, that's where it gets a little complex here. Same thing with corporate compliance. I know you guys have gone through this and, extensive. Is your business, less than 2 years or more than 2 years? Is it an H corp? There's great things about H corps, but there's also a lot of bad things. And I think if you buy from a shitty source, that could really screw you with the tax liens and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into that right now, but again, there's a different structure and how we have to go through the setup with an H corp versus if it was actually something that it was born from inception. Are you a sole prop or LLC or a corp, right? Are you low or high risk? What state are you in? There's certain states that are great for funding, like Florida, California, Nevada, Texas. And there's certain ones that don't have a lot of exposure. So can we foreign file? Are you foreign filed anywhere? If you're like Dennis and wants to foreign file to 20 different states, then great. It might be a lot more options, but it could be pretty expensive. Can you afford that? Right? All these small little things. Your online presence, your business address. Is it a virtual address? And a lot of times, even a virtual address, you want to be careful because some of these banks say that might, I think it was one of my clients that had a Wyoming corp, and their virtual address was actually was blanketed between an office that had a lot of fraud attached to it. And they denied us because that address was associated with other people who had fraud, right? It's just like little small stupid things that can really screw things up. Your financial review. Do you have cash flow, right? Do you have strong bank statements? Are there any deposits, loan disbursements, non-sufficient funds? What's your gross revenue? What's your net profit? Are you leaving any net profits in your business on personal bank statements, etc.? What's your net income, your adjusted gross income? These are all the different little things that we have to go through as I underwrite and look at things. Are you in growth mode or are you just getting by? If I don't get you that loan, is your whole business and world going to collapse? Or you're growing so fast that you can't keep up with demand. So two different strategies on how we have to implement, right? Then after we've done all that with the whole 4 pillars, then I say, okay, well, who of the 500 banks that we probably have more right now, but even those 500 banks that we have access to, who's going to be the best fit? Does your state have a streamlined programs? Do I have to go full doc, light doc, no doc? How many banks do I need to apply with and get you approved to help you with your funding goal? Are some stricter than others? What type of business loan do you need, right? Do you see so these are all certain things you should ask yourself and being able to put that whole funding plan in place. Then you get your approvals or denials. Can I overturn it? What additional documents are they needing? What was the cause of the denial? Can I fix that? Can I come up with a good story? Can I provide some additional supporting docs to get that? Did we get the loan amount, or do I need to push for an increase? Or do I need to fight for the limit cut, right? Because they reduced it for whatever reasons. Now imagine doing this 100 times a month while studying the economic forecast of our economy and the banking requirements and sentiments. And hopefully nothing changes. And every 3 to 6, 12 months, things change, right? Like Truist had their no doc program for up to 50,000. And now because it went all viral on YouTube, now they're asking for 4506s. This one, I gotta give credit for ChatGPT and Dolly for putting those, the imagery over here. But again, if you look
My
at these
man's got a chain on too. I love it. I love it. I love it.
shady parrots, guys. So if the only thing they can offer you is 0% business credit cards, right? They just know how to do the surface level national banks, which honestly every single person here can do. They'll only help you if you have flawless credits. They don't understand really the intricacies of how this whole business works. Kind of looking at that whole experience, this question that I asked you, right? Can somebody like that really go in depth, with you? Do they do the shotgun approach? They're not. They're like a shotgun approach, but not. They're not snipers, right? With their submissions, they don't have the relationships. They don't know what they're doing. They all have the same program. They're just really they take one course and they just replicated everything from that angle where all
Mhm.
these companies they're doing fraudulent applications. And I agree with you, Dan, right? This is why I think this is why you put a big target and you frame it this way because it's very
Oh, they
true.
hate me, bro. They hate me. I got friends that turn into enemies because I say the truth, man. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? I have a lot of friends in here that turn to enemies because I'm not willing to compromise my integrity, man. I'm not willing to co-sign on their credit repair company. I'm not ready to co-sign on their business funding program for I want people to be doing funding because they really want to help businesses get funded, not because it's a dog and pony show and it's a good talking point. Because a lot of these people in funding actually sound like politicians regurgitating bullshit all over the place. They don't actually care about people. They just care about the money. People come with prosperity and they come with problems. You actually do things right.